notifications, we who have bank accounts in Uganda, that URA needed TIN numbers attached to bank accounts for any diaspora member. And then, of course, the tax that you guys have levied on people who own property in Uganda. Please go ahead and tell us what Uganda Revenue Authority has for the diaspora.
Thank you very much, the organizers of this forum. Thank you, everyone in the diaspora. My name is Solomon Musoke. I'm a supervisor in the Domestic Tax Department. I work in the Large Taxpayers Office in the International Tax Unit, so I, in most cases, interact with multinationals. All right, so I have a simple task to explain to you, fellow Ugandans in the diaspora, on how the tax system interacts with the real estate sector. I've seen a couple of adverts of the participants in the real estate, bringing you good proposals of houses available here that can be utilized for accommodation. Now, our laws have just been amended. Those that interact directly with the real estate sector at the lower end. The lower end, I mean the accommodation. If, for example, you buy a condominium and you get tenants, okay, the rates have been adjusted to 30% to match those of companies, while granting you a little higher deductions up to a tune of 75%. But at the end of the day, the benefit for you, the individual who is investing your money in the real estate sector, is that the rate previously, which was 20%, has been almost halved. So the effective rate currently is 7.5% on every 100 shillings that you recoup from your investment if you had invested in the lower end of that sector. Right. That put aside, there is also a component of the exit tax. Exit tax in the real estate sector, I mean, you've bought a building or you've elevated a building, and this time around you want to dispose of or to sell it off. We have what we call the capital gains tax. Not really capital gains, but it is income tax. So we would net off the gain and tax the gain. We will net off your consideration from the cost you've incurred in coming up with that building, and then tax the gain at 30%. So to summarize it up, that's how I can summarize that component. Then on the side of TIN numbers, we've changed to a more simplified mechanism of granting TINs to our taxpayers. And now we are using the web-based. Web-based, we just feed our web portal with the required information, attach two IDs, and then you will be availed a tax identification number. The process is now more familiar and easier as opposed to the previous process that we've been having. I submit.
I wish I had known you were that brief. I would have definitely loved that. So thank you so much. But you didn't touch on some of the areas that I wanted to hear, which is
like which one?
For people, the property and all that. But I like the fact that you touched on the TIN numbers, because many of us, especially who might be seasonal business people, we need something that works for us. You guys require that we file taxes every quarterly, but we don't live in Uganda. So I feel that sometimes creating a regime that caters for some of us in the diaspora would help. Because if I'm only a seasonal person, myself particularly, who does business in Uganda largely when I do my events over the course of December, I feel that you asking me, I've gone to your offices where they insist that I have to do quarterly returns, even when I don't live. And when I try to do that—
Let me make that one right.
Go ahead.
Under the Ugandan legal system, the taxation legal system, we make returns once.
Okay. I'm talking
it's not quarterly.
Okay. Because they always—
So For a person who has rentals, for example, will make a provisional return. Automatically, if they are individuals, we'll give them what we call a normal year of income, one that is similar to that of government,
Okay.
which ends 30th June. So, but we expect them to make returns. The due date is 31st December.
Okay.
So on that day, you make a provisional return for the current year, okay, and a final return for the previous year. Unless if you are in what we call commercial, where you are expected to make monthly returns, okay, and this is where you will be at times. If you are in the diaspora, you will engage services of a tax agent, for example, and then we will do that on your behalf. So it is simplified because it is online based. You don't need to be in Uganda to lodge a return with the Uganda Revenue Authority. Anywhere in the world, you can lodge a return.
I will follow that discussion up with you after this, but for the interest of time.